This is Code Red.
Hey guys, you're listening to the Code Red podcast. I'm Shubh,
And this is Parthib.
and this is the Manchester United podcast where we review games, tactics, and player ratings. Throughout the series, we'll also be looking at any club updates such as transfer news, injuries, or any contract extensions. Today, we're looking at Manchester United's 6-1 thrashing by Tottenham Hotspurs at Old Trafford.
What went wrong? What went wrong? So much to talk about today, but let's go over the lineups first. So, United went for their classic 4-2-3-1. David De Gea in goal. Bailly and swapped out today, as was in for Lindelof today. Harry Maguire is their center back and captain. Luke Shaw on the left and Wan-Bissaka on the right. Matic and Pogba coming in. Matic after he didn't play the last league game, right?
No, I think it was
McTominay.
McTominay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Bruno Fernandes in the center, Mason Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, and Anthony Martial in the front. And then on Spurs side, we had 4-3-3 formation with Lloris in the goal, Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer taking the shit out of Chelsea last week as their center backs. Reguilon and Serge Aurier on the left and right. Then Ndombele, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and Moussa Sissoko in the center. And then Heung-min Son on the left, Eric Lamela on the right, and Harry Kane down the center. So in the second minute, we had the quick penalty. It was working out for United to begin with. They were able to attack well. They were able to get into box and draw the foul, and Bruno Fernandes put it away perfectly. Nothing wrong there. 100% conversion rate from the spot. So, I mean, he played his part there. But then, fourth minute, that was let's recount what happened. Okay. So it was a throw-in it was on United's right side. So Wan-Bissaka's side, I don't remember who threw it in, throws it in. Pogba taps it, like bring his foot up to tap it. Comes to Maguire. Maguire tries to head it. It bounces off by his head. Maguire tries to head it back to De Gea, and it's a short header. It doesn't get enough weight on it. So Luke Shaw's trying to kick the ball out, and then we have Maguire holding on to Luke Shaw, bringing him down. And then Tanguy Ndombele gets the shot on goal. Like, what the hell happened there? Like, first, so much is going wrong.
It's a masterclass.
It's a masterclass in defending. That's all that has to be said. Like, Maguire's headers were terrible. Like, first one in Bailly was it just bounced off Bailly's head, but the second one was awful. It got no weight on it. And what was he doing? Dragging down Shaw. Like, he literally brought down Shaw, like trying to get the ball when Shaw could have had the chance to kick it out. I don't really blame Shaw there. He had a lot more other places to blame, but he was literally holding on to him, and Ndombele did well to find the back of the net, but that was garbage, like utter garbage.
That's kind of an understatement, but yeah, that's unacceptable. I mean, I'm kind of laughing at it now, but like
And the thing is, that's not even the worst goal that they conceded.
Yeah.
That really goes to show like how screwed they were. And then 7th minute, 3 minutes, man, the goals were coming in crazy. 3 goals in 8 minutes. 7th minute, we had Maguire bring down Kane in no man's land in the midfield, and Kane doing well. Like, he had 2 players in the front. Maguire was there, and Maguire did nothing, absolutely nothing to slow down Kane. Kane took the fast ball, got it to Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son, who's got a hamstring injury, outpaces the entire United defense and just dinks it over De Gea. Like, it was terrible. No one was marking their man. Maguire was slow to react to the ball, and he wasn't trying to stop him. Like, they were just caught sleeping. Spurs had their foot on the gas after the goal. I was thinking like, oh, first early goal for United is going to bring their confidence up, especially game against like Spurs. Like, even though they've been slacking, you can never count out Spurs. Like, it kind of hurts me to say that, but you can't count out Spurs nowadays. And they capitalized on it. It was terrible defending again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, they're not aware. No one was even marking Son. They were just watching Kane take the kick. As if, I don't know, were they trying to play him offside? Because that wouldn't have worked because Son was well onside.
Yeah, and Son is fast as well. They know they can outpace him. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if he has a hamstring injury. I mean, it didn't seem like he had a hamstring injury that match.
Yeah, he was predicted to play like the latter minutes of the game. But yeah, I think
I think Jose might have done the right thing, maybe bring him on early just to screw with. I don't think Ole even saw that coming, that him starting in the starting lineup. But yeah, and then 28th minute drama. going on. So what's your view on that Antho red card?
I mean, like, what is there to say? Like, that's like by no means ever a penalty. I mean, Lamela literally like elbows Anthony Martial, and Tony Martial just kind of shrugs him off. Lightly just taps him. How is that a red card? I mean, we have VAR to look at circumstances like these, and I don't understand how that's like a red card. I mean, you have like, I think was it
It
last
was Mane
season
who did. Well,
where
Mane
like
did something similar to Mane did something similar to Martial about a week ago, and he got off scot free. But like,
no, but like last season, I remember like Trent like literally stamped on one of the Arsenal players' legs, and
oh,
like they
Trent and
didn't.
Robbo, they're pricks. They get away with
Yeah,
everything though.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of true though. But like still, like you
Yeah,
can't
it
call
is
us
VAR is
Varchester
like
United for that.
okay, there it can go either way, but like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if there is, that's also cause for simulation. Like Lamella was fine. Come on, like he acted like he just got shot in the front lines of Normandy. Okay, like he was fine. Like he just dropped down like not like he just dropped as if like he got shot. Like as I said, and
yeah.
like if they have VAR to check that, why isn't he being penalized for that either? He did get a yellow card, but that was for something else, right?
I believe it's in the later circumstances of the
Yeah,
game.
it was not. It wasn't in relation to the Martial red card, but yeah, if Martial got a red card, then it should be fair that maybe Lamela gets sent off as well because I mean, Okay, from like, if from my standpoint, Martial was in his rights to like retaliate. And even if he did retaliate, it's not like he slapped him; he just tapped him on the chest.
Yeah, you
So
just kind of like pushed him off to the
yeah,
side. Yeah,
yeah, and then and like even he was standing up, and then like 2 seconds later he fell down with his hands. Like it was like delayed and it was simulation. Like, oh
yeah,
man, Lamel's a prick. Yeah, but that's
yeah.
that was yeah. In my eyes, it should have been a red card for either or just nothing, or maybe a yellow card for both. And then even later, Bailly playing dangerously. That should have been another red card for United, stamping on Kane. Like he got lucky that he wasn't called out for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel Bayou's very like low and high. I mean, some instances, I believe he's like diving to like stop the shot. Like,
Between the second and third goal, he was doing well defensively. It was just him and De Gea. De Gea made some
yeah,
good saves as well, but but especially between that second and third goal, there were so many opportunities. Like it could have been like 4-2 before the first Kane goal. But
definitely,
they were finding spots on the wings. They were just carving them open like nothing else. And then
definitely.
obviously we had the Kane goal. Honestly, there were so many goals. I don't even remember how this one went.
Yeah, um, yeah. It was just goal after
Oh yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah. It was Kane found Son on the right, and then as they were trying to pressure Son, they just left Kane unmarked, and Kane got the
Yeah, yeah. King
send
got
pass back to
bottom right
Kane.
corner, the
Yeah,
bottom right.
and that was pretty much just sums up every goal. They're just leaving men open on the right. Same thing happened with the 37th minute. They Sissoko played a okay ball to Ndombele, Ndombele, and no one was marking Ndombele. Like he had about 30 yards in between. I think it was Luke Shaw and the wing. Like he had so much space, and no one was bothering. No, like no one on the left, no one on the left. Like maybe Rashford was bothering to drop in and help with defense, or even Pogba. They're all getting sucked into the onto Sissoko's side, and then he's able to find Ndombele. And granted, it was not a great ball by Sissoko, but Ndombele still did well to get on it and find Son. And then Son just taking the piss out of them with the nutmeg goal. Like that was
Yeah,
just
I
like
think was it Ndombele who like megged Maguire and then
yeah. And then
yeah, I
Son
mean
just meg De Gea.
I think um I mean I you have to look at that scenario because why is why is Maguire going to the
Yeah,
edge of the penalty box? Like not even like the front of the penalty box, in front of
the
why is he going
edge.
to the side, the edge of the box, where we have no physical presence in that. So if he heads it, or say if he crosses it, right, we're not winning any headers
Oh
unless
no,
Baye
absolutely
can
not.
maybe De Gea catches the ball or punches it out. That's the only circumstance. And Maguire couldn't win a 1v1 for his life. We saw it against Bournemouth last season where he got absolutely trolled by Stanislas was in the
Yeah,
5-2
yeah.
win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is it with them getting nutmegged on the edge of the box?
Yeah, they were, especially like considering Ndombele's only made 7 Premier League starts. It seemed like he was like a through and through starter for Spurs. Like he was finding all the empty areas, and they more Jose knew to capitalize on that. He had Son play out there. Kane even made some runs over there. Like they were exposing Luke Shaw's side like nothing. Luke Shaw did terrible. His positioning was off. Like you didn't see him on the left side. Like as you said, Maguire was there with getting megged by Ndombele, where Luke Shaw was there, and then like not putting enough pressure on Son, just letting him run in. Like he was in the center and he just ran into that box to intercept the pass from Ndombele. Like no one was bothering to mark him. Like United can't man mark. They can't man mark
Yeah,
if their life depended on
definitely.
it. It
Yeah,
seems
I
like they're going for
think
like a basketball like zonal defense. Like
yeah, zone
you can't do
defense.
that in
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah, definitely. I think also like the tactics are part to blame. I know like I will not blame this whole game on Ole, definitely. But I think some of the tactics, I think what Ole is trying to do, I can kind of see his vision, but he can't really replicate that with the players he has right now. Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to make Luke Shaw go a lot more forward, right? Wan Bissaka go a lot more forward. But the problem is if they hit on the counter, Pogba can't really defend 1v1s. He's better of a like deep line playmaker, pass the ball to him and he can put in a long ball like on those counter attacks. But Pogba can't like defend. He's not like Kante, he's not a proper CDM. Nemanja Matic, he's a good CDM, but he's not
He's
pacey.
slow.
He's
Like
slow.
you
He's
saw, he got
old.
caught. He got caught in the one pass to Son that should have been another
Yeah.
goal. Son
Yeah,
miscontrolled it, but like Matic was lucky, so lucky that he wasn't even running towards Son. He was running in a straight line, trying to maybe intercept him. But like you have to run for the man. Like the commentator was saying, like you have to run at the man. You can't run in a straight line and try to get back in time because Son is gonna
mhm.
beat him in every run. Like at least maybe try to get like a tackle off of him. Son was lucky. They were lucky that Son miscontrolled that last touch so that De Gea could get it.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously Maguire, Lindelof, they lack pace.
Same with
Uh, yeah, I mean, Baye's like slightly, but he's not even like still like an improvement to either
and his
Lindelof or
passing is terrible. Like we
yeah,
saw with that first
he's
Kane goal. Just like they're trying to play it out of the box, but you don't play it in the center. You absolutely don't play it in the center in front of your
yeah,
box where you see 2 men on your defender, and that's what happened. Maguire bypassed. I think it was Maguire, or I think maybe Matic in the center of the box, 2 men on him, and Kane just strips the ball out of him and gets a goal. And that was just that's defending 1-on-1. You don't pass the ball to the center. You either get it out or get to the wings.
yeah.
Like
Even when you're like a U12 player,
they
right?
tell
When
you
you're a
that.
defender, they tell you either clear it, so that goes for a throw in, or just kick it as far as you can.
Yeah, if in doubt, get it out. That's the
Yeah,
motto.
yeah, that's the phrase. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's also a sense of complacency. I mean, like, why are they just like, they're not even taking it slow. When they're 2-1 down, right? They're just taking it slow. When they're 3-1 down, just taking it slow. I mean, there's no like sense of leadership, and that's why I have to question Maguire's captaincy. I mean, he's spent like a year and a month or two at this club. I mean, why was he given the captaincy like 4 months
So early
into
on,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. He didn't do anything to earn it. I feel like this club, the way this club is run, it's just way too light on the players. It's way too
Oh yeah.
easy for them. I mean, it's just like, here, oh yeah, let's, we can take you, I guess. We can take you. And the wages, I think the problem with United, I mean, there's just lots of talk to talk about the board, the wages, how they're playing, the tactics, the ratings. But I think part of this has to go to their wages. They're overpaying for a lot of these players, so they don't really need to get much
They
out
have
of.
yeah. They
Yeah,
really don't,
they're
if they're getting paid so much for doing nothing, like they're just gonna continue to do that.
yeah, exactly. There's no consequences in this club. I mean, what you get a bench, but you're still like kind of making the money, so like you're
Yeah,
not
like
getting like
that's
worse
what
out
we
of it.
saw with Serge Aurier. Like we saw Matt Doherty kind of took Serge Aurier's spot, and Aurier responded with a goal and a damn good one as well. Like finding exposing Luke Shaw on the right side and getting a good and finding a good angle behind De Gea. And like that's the kind of thing that United need, like some competition between the team because. And I think also the competition might also come with squad depth. If you have squad depth, you have players competing for their spot in the starting 11. And United don't have squad depth either. They've got their squad consists their bench consists of Juan Mata, Victor Lindelof, Jesse Lingard, Fred, Dean Henderson, Donny van de Beek, and Scott McTominay. The only one that like provides any depth is Donny van de Beek
Yeah.
and Dean Henderson. No one else provides any depth or anything like anything convincing to be like part of the United 11. Nothing.
Yeah, definitely. I think the problem that United have and that teams kind of recognize this. We saw this against Sevilla last year in the Europa League. Teams are just going to park the bus for the first 60 minutes, right? That's why United tend to go like 0-0 or 1-0 down sometimes or 1-0 up going into the half. And then, these players, obviously they're going to get tired, right? They're playing it's kind of hard. It's physical. It's long. They're going to get tired. And Ole has to look at his bench and say, okay, who can it bring on? No one. Every time it's just been Fred and McTominay. And what did they contribute? Absolutely nothing, right? They can't help progress the ball forward. They can't, Fred has improved, but is he you look at Liverpool's depth. I mean, last year, their reserve team was beating lots
The
of these
reserve
players.
team was beating everyone in the FA Cup, and they're a bunch of
Yeah,
19-year-olds.
I think they beat Everton by 5-2 or something.
Yeah,
their
they lost
U19
to
team.
Hull. I remember that one Greek guy was celebrating like he scored a World Cup goal.
But yeah, I mean, it's just so frustrating to watch because the center back is a clear priority. We need it so badly, and then who do we sign? Cavani.
Alex, tell us. But the thing is, it's also some United fans are also thinking that Jadon Sancho is going to be their messiah coming in to save United. But Sancho's a winger. What's he going to do for the defense? You can't just ignore what's been bothering you for so long, because United's defense has been bothering them for the past 7 years. There's no denying it. They've had great forwards that they could have played. They had Rooney and Van Persie coming out of the SAF era, and even though they were old, they were still scoring goals. Van Persie saved them in 2014, getting that hat trick in the Champions League. And then after that, we had Lukaku,
Ibra,
who we couldn't utilize. We had Ibra, who's doing well, but only stayed for one season. We had Depay, who we couldn't utilize. Now we have the three musketeers, and they're just not.
Even Di Maria, Falcao.
Yeah, they've had a plethora of good forwards that they've wasted, and then that kind of draws away the attention from their lacking defense, and they never tend to it's only until this season that we've really seen so many fingers getting pointed at the United defense more than ever. Because Chris Smalling was good. 2017, he had a great year. But after that, the United defense, it just fell apart.
Yeah, I think was it 17-18? I think it was 17-18 where they had just a terrible, terrible season. I think it was Smaldini and Jones, I believe. It was Ole after Ole was signed permanent. When they were losing games week in, week out. I think they lost.
The season with Jose, when they finished second, when that was the year
16-17. Yeah.
100 points. They were doing well. A lot of blame is pointed toward Jose for playing a really boring and very non-United style of play, but their defense was getting the results. Smaldini was playing insane that season. You can't deny it. He really picked up, and it's even shown in his Roma, playing for Roma and in Italy. I think maybe he should be captain. They get Maguire, buy the hell out of there, and put Smaldini in and make him captain, because he's been at the club for so long. He knows the club. Ole should trust him more than Maguire. He's so much more of a trustworthy defender. He has had his hiccups, we've seen that one Roma goal.
Yeah. The own goal, right?
Yeah,
the handball?
Not the handball. It was a really the ball was really high up. It hit the crossbar and it was going out, but then Smaldini hit it back into the box. Yeah. He's so much better than Maguire, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I doubt Smaldini will stay, because there are reports suggesting that he's close to a 16 million deal to Roma.
Yeah, I heard.
And I think it's reported to probably fund for the Sancho deal.
There's one day left in the
transfer
market.
1 day left. How do you think Sancho will come? If you or no?
Dortmund if I were Dortmund, I'd be so upset. It's because it's kind of just pissing on your reputation. Like Dortmund as a club have been such good business. They've been a great business. They've been making profits left, right, and center. They've been investing in the youth. Like Gio Reyna, 3 assists in one game. He got 3 assists in one game. That's madness. They've been investing well into the youth. They're not overpaying for players like Barcelona, and they're
Off
selling players at
United.
a profit. Yeah, but then if you have United who's trying to like scam you out of one of your best players, like consistently offering lower, it's like they don't. It seems like it gives the vibe that they don't respect you as a club, as a business. Like, and they're obviously not going to go through with it if United continue to submit like low par offers. If I were Dortmund, I'd absolutely will not accept any deal from them.
Yeah. I mean, it's knowing Dortmund though, like they can say all they want. If they get the money, they'll accept it within seconds because they do function like that. They look at profits while managing to still produce great results. And Dortmund, they have Sancho, who's like a generational talent. So they're not mad if they can't sell him, right? They should be happy. If they do sell him, I mean, 120 million, that's a lot. Although I think Sancho probably is worth more than 120 million.
He's worth more.
And United, should take advantage of this opportunity to sign Sancho for 120 million. They have to get Cavani tomorrow. They have to get Telles tomorrow. They agreed personal terms in July.
Yeah, it's been like 2 months since that happened.
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing? The board is just rotting the club. There's been so many Glazers out. I don't know. I think even if they try to burn down Ed Woodward's home, it won't even do anything this time.
Yeah. Well, there's still one more talking point for the actual game, the Kane penalties. So Ben Davies actually made an appearance after I thought he was like dead. He hasn't been like really playing well in Spurs since like 16-17 or 17-18. I think he played really well in the 16-17 campaign. He was on my fantasy team then. But he dribbled past, I think it was Wan-Bissaka. Then I think it was Pogba or Bailly who came in and kind of missed the tackle, but then like he slid in, and he missed the ball, but like he wasn't going for.
It was like a slight roll.
And then like he kind of fell on, tripped after the ball was passed. He tripped on, what's his name? What's the guy's name? We just talking.
Eric Dyer.
Not Pogba. Eric Dyer. Ben Davies tripped on Pogba's
Oh, sorry.
body.
Yeah, I confused.
Yeah, after that happened, like, is that pen?
No. I mean, to be fair though, I feel like that's how the Aston Villa pen against when Bruno Fernandes fell backwards on the defender's feet. I feel like I guess it's kind of like a payback, karma. But yeah, I don't think that's a pen. He's literally slowly rolling, and what is it?
And at that point, he already gave the ball away. He's in no goal scoring
opportunity. Yeah.
He's not hindering play in any manner by taking out Ben Davies.
Yeah, it's not like Ben Davies was gonna make another run or anything. He was rolling into the box. That's rolling slower than Neymar.
Don't talk about the eternal flop like that.
Oh yes, yeah. The snake. Yes.
We don't say that name around here, but yeah. There were shoddy calls all around, but Spurs definitely deserve.
Despite the bad calls, Spurs should deserve 3 points.
Oh yeah, after 4 goals, the fact that they still put the pressure on. I mean, they put the pressure on, but they still managed to score. Keeping the foot on the gas pedal the whole time is hats off to them, especially playing so many games now. I mean, it's still early in the season; they're still not fully warmed up. But yeah, they didn't let go at all. And I think even as much as Eric Lamela is going to come out as the most hated man in Manchester, he still played well, considering he's going to be the replacement. He was the Bale's replacement, and now he's being replaced by Bale. Eric Lamela, man, that Rabona goal he scored back then, that was insane. Have you seen that one?
I don't recall it. I might have seen it though.
Outside the box, and he just Rabonas and goes. Oh, that was a peach. But yeah,
Really?
he did. Like, everyone played well. Like, Ndombele was actually making an impact. He actually started today, and he really kind of proved his 60 million price tag. That's how much they paid for him, something like that, right? 60,
I
72.
believe so. 50, yeah, I think something around the range.
Yeah, I like this was a very good performance by Ndombele. Hopefully, he'll stick around. But yeah,
What are
okay.
your thoughts on the? Or what
Yeah,
were
go
you
ahead.
gonna say? What are your
Go
thoughts
ahead.
on the Tellez transfer and Cavani transfer?
Well, Cavani, they didn't do any like masterful negotiations. He was a free, and then Alex Tellez isn't really solving the glaring issue of their center backs. So it really does beg, like, yes, he's a good signing, but they need a center back more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the transfer window is just a disgrace. I mean, you had like championship teams spending more than us, probably.
Everton spending more.
Yeah. I mean, they go James, Decore, Allen. They got
They're
anyone else? They just revamped their whole midfield. Like
yeah,
they changed the
and
whole thing.
and look how well it's working for them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's banging in goals like nothing.
Yeah.
Then Richarlison's actually like being able to play like he was. Richarlison was struggling at points during the season, but he's been playing really well this season. Like Everton, I don't want to say anything early, but
Yeah.
they could pull a Leicester. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like
But then
Roy
again,
Keane
it's the
did
Premier
it.
League.
Yeah, I mean, it is Premier League. If any
We
miracles are gonna
saw
happen.
Liverpool lose 7-2 today. Like
Yeah, that was
this is
fun.
the Premier League. Nothing goes the way you expect it to go.
But like three of their goals were like deflections. Like they just
Jack
bounced
Grealish,
off.
but then again, Jack Grealish turned into Messi today. Man,
Dude, yeah.
I rescind my statement about calling him overrated. He would have been good for United. I think he would have been better than Donny Van de Beek.
He created the third most chances, I think, last season, drew the most fouls. Because I think it was just I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player. It was just like paying 80 million for him. We like United wouldn't get the best out of him because of Bruno Fernandes already kind of
True.
occupying that position. Unless they made like a formation switch with playing with like two cams, which I don't really see that happen.
The 4-2-3-1 did work well for them. I think it's just being able to find their rhythm because they have not found any sort of rhythm. Like who they beat in the last Wednesday 3-0,
Brighton.
Brighton. Like, okay, sure, but that was Europa. It was midweek. They just played Brighton beforehand, but they're not picking up a consistent rhythm. Like one day they're losing 3-1, next day they're winning. They're barely winning 3-2. Then
Yeah.
another day they're pushing Brighton out of the water, and now they're back to losing 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's just high, low, high, low, high. It's just very inconsistent. Yeah, I think United need to find a rhythm. I think Ole needs to be backed, more importantly. I mean, it always happens when whenever United qualify for the Champions League, the board just okay, you got into the Champions League with the
Moving on to
squad.
player ratings. This shouldn't be too hard. De Gea. Well, he wasn't really to blame. His defense let him down big time. He did make some good saves in between the second and third goal, but apart from that, there was nothing. His defense was letting him down every time. I'd give him just 5. I mean, 5, yeah.
Yeah, I'd give him a 5, maybe 4.5. He wasn't really to blame. I mean, mostly like a 1v1 chances. No one was marking the opposition, so I think that's fair. And yeah, he did make some good saves. Maybe if he pulled off that 11 save, like he did last 3 games ago against Tottenham, 2018, 2019. But
I thought that was Arsenal.
yeah, I don't think he's to blame.
I
think
thought that was
Arsenal was 16.
Something nuts like
That was
that.
a
I
different.
remember. That was like 20...
No, 7. That was like when Sanchez was on Arsenal.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, crazy numbers. I mean, you can't blame the defense when you're. Well, I mean, you can't blame the goalie when the defense lets you down big time.
Yeah.
Bailly, Maguire, and Shaw all collectively get a half. They get half a point for just showing up.
Participation points.
Participation points. That's pretty much United. Like, we'll show up there, we'll get the participation trophy, but that's all we'll do.
Yeah, I mean, they're just that bad. I think I think Juan Bissaka's. I think he did fairly better than him, so I'd give him
2.
maybe a 1.5, maybe 2. But he didn't provide really attacking anyway, so
Yeah.
I'd say 1 is fair.
Yeah, I mean, we crapped on them enough, and then match Pogba 2. They were completely non-existent. They were not tracking their man. They weren't providing any defensive stability. They weren't helping attack. Like it literally just seemed like United were letting Spurs just attack them over and over, and they were seeing like how many goals, how many times you can let them score. That's just how it seemed. And Liverpool was like, if you can, we'll one up you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but
were completely non-existent in the
non-existent.
midfield. Didn't really make a change. Like couldn't provide attack. Didn't really provide a defensive uh, stability either. I don't know what they were doing. Um, I mean, if anyone had to get a red. Kind of wish it was either Pogba or Matic now, but yeah, I'd give them
At this point,
a
like
2.
Pogba, it's safe to say Pogba is literally his like that link we talked about so much at the restart. We haven't seen it at all this season. Like at this point, Pogba's literally just there for marketing reasons. He's a
Yeah,
flashy player. Well, he was a flashy player. He's literally only there to sell United kits, and that's about it. I mean,
yeah.
it's harsh, but that's the reality. Like he doesn't offer anything else. Like one goal he scored all of last season. It's not looking good for Paul in here at United. I'm not gonna lie. Bruno Fernandes got a goal, didn't do anything else.
I give him a 6. I think.
We still give our Lord Fernandes a good rating.
Yeah, he is our Lord. Yeah. I mean, uh, he was just. I mean, I guess he tried. Ole took him off at halftime because he knew it was a waste. Playing him the 45 minutes. Um, but yeah, that was just disappointing.
Yeah,
I think the whole offense, the strikers, the
they
wingers, they need to they need to learn how to be creative. Like when you put get creative on FM20,
yeah.
like you need to spam that button. All it needs to be spamming that.
That's what Moyes
Um,
is doing at home for West Ham.
yeah, yeah. um,
It's
uh,
madness.
yeah. I mean,
I
it's
think
so predictable.
yeah. You literally just try to get either a cross in, or you're just trying to get Bruno to either play a chip ball over. It's like they're not. I mean, you're not Barcelona at the end of the day. Not everyone can play that game where you can just find like itty bitty passes and then find an
Hmm.
opening. Only really Barcelona can do that. And even then, they're struggling to do that nowadays. I think they should stick to their strengths, which is counterattacking. But I think then again, Spurs defense was solid today, apart from that sloppy play from Sanchez. But even then, after the penalty, Davidson Sanchez did pick up again. He wasn't letting anyone go through. I mean, they had what 5 shots, whereas like Spurs had like here what was the stats overall?
Spurs 5 shots, 2 on target. Spurs had like 19 probably.
No, Spurs had 22 8 on target. Spurs had 17 more shots than United. Like even then,
They
like
had
just
more
trying
goals than we had shots.
to.
That's so sad.
Oh my god,
That's so sad.
that's awful. Yeah, but okay. And now you really put into perspective actually how bad it was. But yeah, like you have to make even if you can't, maybe just take a shot from outside the box. You never know what's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
even Mason tried that. I mean, he's no Ansu Fati, obviously,
Oh
but
man, can we not?
but yeah, you have to take shots. I mean, just even if you can't get in the box, just take a shot and just pray. I mean, look what happened to Villa. They just took shots after shot after shot, and it was going in because of deflections. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't win games by not shooting. But yeah, the forward as a whole, the strike force as a whole, is apart from our Lord Bruno, was be a 4. I think like even after the human
What's
Sun goal, like I think it
oh
was still salvageable. But I think the moment Antho got sent off, it just completely killed the entire thing for the team. At
yeah,
that point, it was out of Ole's hand. Ole could have done nothing, like nothing
yeah.
Ole could do to bring back the game. At that point, they literally played into Jose's hands.
Yeah, I think Ole, obviously, I mean, what can he do at this point? I mean, they had a great start and like it just all collapsed. And that's not tactics. I mean, that's just lack of defensive awareness by by the
Everyone.
defenders. But yeah, by everyone. Everyone was just lazy, complacent, not really trying to get a win. They're just going through the motions. So yeah, I think overall terrible performance. I think Ole is partly to blame, but I don't think we can say.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, making history. This is the first time ever, away or home, that United has conceded 4 goals. I mean, the last time they lost 6-1 was back when the boy Balotelli was repping
yeah,
the "Why
why
always
always
me."
me?
I love Balotelli so much back then. I was literally like in 2012 after watching I remember vividly remember like him pulling off his shirt and after they got knocked out I was crying in my room because I loved Balotelli so much back then. I mean, even he would be an
Uh,
improvement over the current United forwards.
yeah, you're not wrong. Doesn't he play in like Serie A or something?
He plays like in
The,
Brescia, like that's like his
oh,
beloved
okay,
club.
okay.
They got
Russian.
relegated, I think.
Oh, rip. Still better
Yeah.
than United. Yeah.
I mean, they're sitting in what, 16th now at the end of the day? Like,
16th. Yeah.
what
Goal
the
difference of
hell?
-6.
What the hell is the standings? We've got Everton, Aston Villa, Leicester City, and Arsenal in top four, and then we have United in 16th, City in
City in
14th,
14th. Yeah.
Wolves in 13th, Chelsea sitting at 7th, Leeds in 8th. Like, what is going on? Like, this is an absolute madness that's going on in the Premier League this season. Like, it's nuts. I don't think I've ever seen anything this crazy before. Like, we are 3 weeks in, granted, 4 weeks in, but this is still insane to see a table like this. Like, we were convinced Aston Villa were going down, and here they
Yeah.
are with 3 wins. They've only conceded
Yeah.
2 goals. They're
That
playing so well.
that too. Both the goals came today.
Yeah, exactly.
They're,
They've had 2 clean sheets before that. Yeah, it's some madness. But
yeah.
going back to the United board, like I think there should be regulations for who can buy clubs, who can own clubs. You can't there shouldn't be just some person with 3 bills sitting around who can just go and buy clubs. Like we saw what happened to AC Milan. Like some Korean guy bought AC Milan, screwed them over. They've had three owners in the span of about 7-9 years. Like there has to be some regulations of who can own clubs. Like no, like as I said, no one should be able to just buy the club, and that's what Glazers kind of have done. I think that's why I kind of like the bar. I've said this before, but I like how I hate Barca board, but I like how it's ran. It's ran by the club members. They actually have incentive to help the win. It's not just a money making scheme for them to make a quick couple hundred million and then just get out of the business before they want to get killed by the entire country. But that's what's going to happen to the Glazers pretty soon if they don't get out of it quickly. But yeah, Glazers are absolutely not a good fit. Like um, when they got their attention spread between an NFL team and their Premier League team, it's bound to screw them over.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, they they treat it like a business. They just take money out of the club. It's horrific. It's in shambles. Um, yeah. I mean, it's a terrible thing to watch. Just watching the club rot.
Yeah, I mean, you joke about relegation, but I mean the way United been playing, it's not far fetched.
It's not. Yeah. I think it's 501. I think the betting odds.
I mean that's
For
lower than the
relegation.
odds that Leicester had to. I mean that's higher than the odds Leicester had
Yeah.
to win. Leicester was like 2,000 or like something like that.
5,000 to 1.
5,000 to 1, right. The chances of the Michael Jackson
Yeah.
coming back to life was apparently higher than the chance of Leicester winning. That's apparently that was true, but yeah, I mean, I don't think Ole should not be to blame. Like, yes, the tactics were a bit off. Like, playing from the back has obviously not worked, and insanity, like some smart dude said, insanity is trying one thing over and over again and expecting different results. I can't remember who said that, but someone important said that. But that's what they've been trying with playing out of the back, trying to play more passing style of football. I mean, it's not working for them. They should stick to their strength. They're just straight up counterattacking. Like we saw, like they don't like that with that one goal with Greenwood running down the wing. wasted no time to just make some short passes, short cute passes. Matic just kicked the ball forward. They went to the races. And that's what Spurs did so many times. Heung-min Son is so fast, and they've got fast forwards. That's what they should do. They shouldn't be trying to play passes. I think that's something Ole really has to recognize. But also, fans have to recognize that it's not entirely Ole's fault. Today was after the Martial red card. It was the defense's fault. Everything was their blame.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. I thought after it went 2-1, I thought they would just park the bus, but no, they like went full, rampage on the United defense. They tried to they saw it was a weakness. They said, let's take advantage of it.
I mean, it was kind of uncharacteristic of Jose, really putting the pressure on this much, even after they were up. But I guess he was out for blood today.
Yeah. Red Devils. Yeah.
I think I have bashed Jose in the past. I say he's washed up. He's not the special one, but this is what experience brings to the table. Yes, I still think Spurs made a mistake getting rid of Pochettino. He was the best manager for the club, but I think Mourinho brings this sort of fear. Yes, he is still a competent manager, and we've seen this through today. He can't be written off. As much as I hate to say it, he really can't be written off still, even though I hate him so much. But yeah, I think Ole has to adopt more of Jose's kind of demeanor, being an absolute prick to every player. It's gonna hurt, but they really have to. That's the only way they can learn. They're not learning through kind words and hugs and kisses. It has to be through discipline.
Yeah. Overall consequences. If these players are going to improve, if they're going to show some passion or some will, there needs to be consequences. That comes through, the squad depth. If you don't play, boom, you get benched, for the next game if you don't play well. Or, there has to be some sense of, strictness. I mean, United really went from, fearing their captain Roy Keane to, just being complacent.
It's like the strong Doge versus the I broke Aaron Holland's dad, and then it's I went to jail for pregnant my sister. But yeah. Well, it's safe to say we were pretty far from predictions.
I was pretty far.
No, you were pretty close. You were pretty close. Just about 10 goals off. You predicted 3-0 to United. I said 2-1. We were both not too far off, but I think we were pretty close. But no one gets a point there. But next up is Newcastle United on the 17th, 7 a.m. They have quite a big break. Is there anything else in between it?
International break.
Oh,
international.
Damn
so
it.
no cup games or anything.
That's
a long time.
If they're playing cup games, it really doesn't give. I mean, if they're playing a nation,
there's no cup games in between.
Sorry, not cup. If they're playing international, it really doesn't give Ole much time to work with the team. And how are Newcastle doing as of recent? They are sitting at 9th place.
They've been pretty good.
They've been okay.
They lost to Brighton. I think that's the only loss.
They won 3-1 yesterday against Burnley. They beat Newport on penalties somehow. They tied with Spurs. EFL Cup.
Oh,
then they tied with Spurs 1-1. They beat Morecambe 7-0 in EFL, and they lost to Brighton 3-0. So yeah, they have been decently in form. To hold up against Spurs 1-1. I think this is when Spurs had a kind of a weak start, and then the Callum Wilson penalty as well. There was a lot of controversy between that, and Callum Wilson was also popping off compared to United forwards who really haven't been able to find some momentum. So I think it's going to be a tough game for United, considering one, they're coming in with a lot of confidence. They haven't lost in almost 3 weeks or so, and United obviously are low. They've low everything by the looks of it. I'm predicting. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go 3-1 United.
God's sake, man! You're setting it 3-1 United.
Because, like, yes, I mean, I am optimistic at times, but I do recognize, like, it's gonna take, like, several games, like, more games at least to kind of get them more match sharp, because they still don't look match sharp to me. Um, so I could see it could be like a fluke.
Yeah, that's
But
you
I
can
think
never count.
Newcastle have also been lucky. Like Burnley handed them a couple goals. Their penalty against Spurs was very dumb.
Yeah,
I mean, Eric Dyer's handball was, and then they got thrashed by Bryant.
but still, they're
And I
coming in
mean,
with good spirits, and not to mention, not
yeah,
all like most of Newcastle, most of United players go play for international teams.
international.
Newcastle
Yeah,
isn't really made of the best international
starting.
players. They've
Yeah,
yeah, so they have players that are matched that will have a substantial break compared to United players. So I think that can also play a factor. I think I'm going to go for 3-2 Newcastle. No, 2-0 Newcastle. No. Oh yeah, and Martial's not even going to play, and
yeah.
Cavani might. No, Igalo's
I
probably
think
not. It,
I think Mason will play up top, and then Juan Mata will take the right wing.
shouldn't Cavani be here in time?
Yeah, but like he won't he still needs time to settle.
It's
Or
true.
Van de Beek could play right wing, but Mata is more in form.
I think it's going to be 2-0 Newcastle. No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
2-0, 2-0. Yeah, that's my final prediction.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the Newcastle game on the 17th in about 2 weeks' time. Shub has gone for a 3-1 United prediction. I've gone for a 2-0 Newcastle prediction. Today was obviously the thrashing of United 6-1 by Spurs. We'll be putting up this episode soon. You can check out our Instagram and Spotify and YouTube, all in the links below. And thanks for sticking around. We'll see you around next time.